Once you see how easy it is to make a cheesecake, they might just be part of your regular repertoire. We're gonna be using my food processor for the entirety of the recipe. And the first thing I've done is I've wrapped my springform pan, I've wrapped the base of it with foil. And that's because we are going to bake this in a water bath. And so don't be intimidated, it's really super easy. But the first thing we're gonna do is make a graham cracker crust. And so I have 2 packets of graham crackers in my food processor. And so that's 18 full crackers. So we're gonna just pulverize these really quick. And next I add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, dark brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 cup of melted butter. And this makes that gorgeous, delicious graham cracker crust. So that's all mixed in together. Just pour the whole thing into your springform pan. This is a 9-inch springform pan, which is the size I recommend. All you have to do now is just press this really good against the bottom of the pan. And it's almost like working with like a partially wet sand. So if you ever played in the sand when you were a kid, this might bring back some memories. You know, it's kind of sticky, it's kind of malleable, but it does need just a little encouragement. I've pressed the crumbs up the side of the pan and onto the bottom of the pan. And now I'm just gonna bake this for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And that's gonna settle it, kind of just like a nice cookie. And then while it's baking, we're just gonna whip up the filling. And really, that's all it takes. It's super easy. My graham cracker crust has just come out of the oven. And I've lowered the temperature of the oven to 325 degrees because we want to make a nice slow bake for this cheesecake. I've got 3 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese in my food processor, and I'm adding 4 eggs, 1/2 cup of sour cream, 2/3 cup of white granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon vanilla, and 1 teaspoon cornstarch. Technically, there's not much need for cornstarch in this recipe, but I like to add a little just for good measure. It helps the cheesecake set up and solidify. Mix all these ingredients. And we have a nice smooth mixture here. Just pour it into your partially baked graham cracker crust. I am making this for my daughter's 18th birthday. She's turning 18 today, so this is my 3rd child, my 2nd daughter. And I couldn't believe it. This morning I thought, wait a second, how is my 3rd child 18? I don't know where the time went, but she asked for this cheesecake. This is the same dessert I made for our New Year's Day meal. And she said, this is exactly what I want for my birthday. So I said, done, easy. And I can't believe I've raised 3 children into adulthood already. So she is our 3rd adult. About that water bath. So the idea behind baking something in a water bath is we want this baking process to be as gentle as possible for this cheesecake. And we also want to fill up the oven with a little bit of steam. And the whole purpose of this is to bake this slowly and gently because really actually a cheesecake is almost a souffle, a type of souffle. So I have this large pan. This is actually a deep dish pizza pan, a Chicago style pizza pan. And I've put my springform pan in the middle of it. I have my oven set at 325 degrees. And I have this foil around, remember, the bottom of my cheesecake. And that way no water will seep into the springform pan because a springform pan, as amazing as it is not watertight. So I've got boiling hot water right here, and I'm just pouring this into the large pan. the large deep dish pizza pan. You can use any pan that's larger than the cheesecake. And I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 45 minutes at 325 degrees. Now this is the important thing, so pay attention, this is important, okay? When the cheesecake is finished baking, you will be able to tell because it no longer is custardy, it's solidified. What I want you to do is turn off the oven, leave the cheesecake in the oven, turn off the oven, and then open the door slightly. And you're going to let the cheesecake come to room temperature at a very, very slow rate. And the reason why we do this is because this is optional, obviously. It's, you know, not life or death, but this is how we make a cheesecake with a nice smooth top where it doesn't crack from thermal shock, okay? So I'm gonna put this in the oven and that's it. That's all there is to making a cheesecake. And so my daughter requested a raspberry coulis, which is a sauce made of raspberries. And I'm going to go ahead and make that raspberry coulis on a short video because it's just super easy. And so I'll go ahead and put, I'll go ahead and put a link right up here to the raspberry coulis short 1-minute video. My cheesecake is out of the oven, and while I'm very happy that there are no cracks on the cheesecake, I did get a little browning over on this side, and I'm just gonna blame my German oven, okay? Because it cooks very unevenly. And also, I may have had the temperature a little too high. You go and bake your cheesecake at 325 degrees. I did not calculate into centigrade Celsius properly, so that's my fault. I am going to open the springform pan. And I'm gonna put the cheesecake on the cake pedestal. I made the raspberry coulis, or the raspberry sauce, and I recorded it on a short. So that is just a quick 1-minute video on how to make this. And since I did kind of get a little browning here on the top, I'm going to put some of this sauce on the cheesecake now. Just see how we do here. This will make a nice pretty top for my daughter's birthday cheesecake for her 18th birthday. I can't believe it, honestly. So 18 years ago, I was living in England, and time goes ticking by. So this is my daughter's beautiful birthday cheesecake. Editing Shannon here. That's the me that edits my videos. After I filmed this video, I got all so emotional because my daughter's turning 18, and so I decided to make the cake just a little prettier, and I designed a rose, a buttercream rose to go on the top. So if you'd like to see that whole video, I did it on Facebook Live. Just go ahead and click on the link or the little thingy above here. Thanks so much. And I hope you try this recipe soon. The raspberry coulis is very easy to make. You can find a link below this recipe or below this video. And we have plenty for topping. That's how it goes. That's as easy as it gets. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. I'm gonna let this chill, and we'll have a little family party for her tonight. And I mean, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. I'm like a little sad because every time one of my kids turns 18, before you know it, they're gone. And we only see them just a handful of days a year after that. If you watch this one day, Charlotte, I love you. And I just so proud of you. And I love all my kids. So thanks so much. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm getting all like, One of the reasons why I'm doing these videos is because there is not enough time for me to teach all my kids all my recipes. I homeschooled for 11 years and I had lots of time then. And I did teach my kids everything about cooking. But the problem was I spent so much time teaching them about cooking that I wasn't teaching them the other things that they needed to know, because this is my passion. I taught them music too, but and so now that they're all in school and they're so busy with all their activities because they're all so outgoing and talented, I don't have enough time to teach them all the things I want to teach them. So I'm hoping that one day they come back and circle around and find Mama's old videos, and I hope it helps. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. You can find this recipe and many more on my website, theflyingkitchen.com. And that's our cheesecake with raspberry coulis. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.